Blessings, everyone. Blessings, everyone. Welcome back to Sunday Night Alive. I am back in the United States in my home in Southwest Florida. So, if you've not been with me before, my name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I am an ordained New Thought minister talking about the power and the possibility of life, of the enjoyment of life, the power of life, the expression of life. Sunday Night Alive is a platform for having conversations that matter in our lives. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here with me, you can say hello in the comments so I can see your name and imagine your beautiful faces. Uh, this is my first Sunday Night Alive since I left for South Africa. Hi, Lonnie. Thank you. Left for South Africa in October. And I was supposed to do Saturday morning musings, but it was just too difficult. I don't know why, but it just didn't work very well. So I'm thrilled to be back and to step back into Sunday night. Brian and oh, hi. Oh my God, you guys are making my heart just sing, sing, sing. I got back on Thursday and it has just been glorious to be back. I don't know why, but I think I might be done traveling to Africa. I think I'm now home to stay. So that's very exciting for me. It means I think I did share that I might actually entertain the idea of getting another animal companion a few weeks ago, which I think I'm going to do when I settle back into my home permanently in March. But in the meantime, welcome to Sunday Night Alive. My topic tonight is begin from a higher why, start from a higher why. I think it's a wonderful conversation to begin 2025. It is what's the right word? It is a challenging year for many, many people as and maybe it's a good time to embrace the power of positive expectation. Good time to embrace the difference that we make in the quality and quantity of life, not only for ourselves, but for everyone. And a higher why means that we get out of our personal. Have you ever been, and you may be now, but have you ever been in a period in your life where you're just focused on you, just you, right? How unhappy you are, what you don't have, or what you want, and how you end up feeling kind of um, not as alive as you feel when you are living in within the idea of a bigger context, a higher why. I don't know really how else to word that. But before I get started, I actually want to speak a blessing. I have a little bit of a travel cold. You know what I mean? A Kleenex, a little travel cold. So if I need to sneeze or something, please forgive me. But for a moment, in the reconnection with me on U.S. soil, let's just take a moment to turn within, a moment to come out of our day, to center ourselves together, to open our hearts and our minds to revelation, to shifting, to feeling, to being, to just to connect with each other in a deeper way, recognizing that we are connected through the one power and the one presence that created all things in the image and likeness of itself. And so I know that that image and likeness is one of love, of compassion, of peace. So I know that tonight, as we come together with this intention, that we come together at the level of the heart, which is ultimately extremely satisfying and uplifting and empowering. And so I bless our time together, calling it good, knowing that it is that already. And so it is. Amen. So, um, so I'm kind of moved to do this conversation again because I've been a little mired in the mundane side of life, of really observing others and myself also, in really dealing with uh, the little box that we're in, and recognizing how truly unsatisfying it is. Um, so as we move into 2025, I think that it would be really great for us to explore what it means to uh, dedicate ourselves and our lives and our actions to love or to a bigger idea, to whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be any particular way. Um, but it's at the core of this conversation is the big, bold, bodacious idea that who you are matters in the scheme of things, and that the scheme of things matters to you, that we are not islands cut off from all that is, that we are not here by ourselves. And by the way, this is not about doing. It's not about doing anything. So you don't have to do anything different. It's about being. It's about being committed to something bigger than yourself. I love this quote by Werner Erhard. He said in an amazing declaration many, many years ago, he said, "You and I can choose to make the success of all humanity our personal business." Can you imagine? Can you, in this moment, say, can you, in fact, it's just a question, can you choose to make the success of all humanity your personal business? It's a huge question. But I have to tell you, I want to tell you a story that happened to me today. So I was in Target, and I just love how life works. I love how life provides what's needed in the moment. So I'm in Target. I come out of Target. I've just been back really for 2 days. So I'm quite sorry. Call me next time. I'm quite still in jet lag, and I get back into my car to come home, and my car won't start. Literally, so I'm sitting there, so I have groceries in the car. I try to start the car and my car won't start. So truly within 10 seconds, I hear this knock on the door on my car, and I look up and there's this guy, and he's a young guy, he's got a beard and tattoos, and he goes, "Do you need to jump?" And I said, "Where did you come from? Like, where did you come from?" He goes, "Well, I just heard your car. I could tell that it just wasn't starting." So this young guy, he literally took the time to come start my car. And this happened within 30 seconds of my realizing that what was I going to do next? Or what was I going to do? So he literally started my car. This was at like 12:15. Started my car. I drove to Firestone. They put in a battery and I drove home, and I was home by 1:30. But my point of this story really is that this young man made it his business to make my business his business, right? That he made it he himself was living from a space of service. He didn't ask for money, he didn't want anything, he just helped. And I promise you, I mean, I will be thinking about this guy for a long time because he was of service. So I love this quote. You and I can choose to make the success of all humanity our personal business. Now, keep in mind that this is not about doing necessarily. It's about being. So it reminds me of there was a white paper written out of Harvard about the four ways of being to be a successful human being. And one of them, there were four, I'm not going to talk about the four, but there was a third. One of them was being committed. Hold on just a second. Was about being committed to something bigger than oneself. And it says what we mean by being committed to something bigger than oneself is being committed in a way that shapes one's being and actions so that your ways of being and acting are in the service of realizing something beyond your personal concerns for yourself, beyond a direct personal payoff. So it, it, I've had occasion to be focused on my person, like, am I happy? Am I comfortable? Am I, do I have enough money? Do I have enough time? Do I have blah, 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 blah? And I have to tell you that when life gets that way for me, I get bored because um, making sure, having my life be dedicated to making sure that all my pieces fit is too small for the spirit of us. It's too small for our spiritual intentionality. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. So the things we care about, fight about, fret about are insufficient to provide us with an expanded, happy uh, life. So Lynn Twist is a woman. She wrote the book The Soul of Money, and a very, very, to me, very, very inspirational woman. And I have a quote from you from her book here for you. She says, "For me and for many of us, our first waking thought of the day is, I didn't get enough sleep. The next thought is, I don't have enough time." She says, whether true or not, that thought of not enough occurs to us automatically before we even think to question it. We spend most of the hours and days of our lives hearing, complaining, explaining, or worrying about what we don't have enough of. Before we even sit up in bed, before our feet touch the ground, we're already inadequate, already behind, already losing, already lacking something. And by the time we go to bed at night, our minds are racing with a litany of what we didn't get done, what we didn't accomplish that day. We go to sleep burdened by those thoughts and wake up to the reverie of lack. So, in my travels in the world, I've observed this focus, this internal focus on getting more, of not having enough. And I think we need to break through it. I think we need to break through into uh, into finding a higher why. So it's not about doing, it's about being. So what if we wake up tomorrow morning and make it our business to be in service to the world? What if we woke up tomorrow morning and we're committed to something greater than ourselves? And this could be as simple as, I'm going to be in service to someone tomorrow. I'm going to open myself, that I want to be in service. Now, if we go back to my little science of mind roots here, we know that a carrot seed produces a carrot, right? Are y'all with me? Carrot seeds produce carrots. The carrot is the context or the declaration of service or the being. The carrot is the seed or the context, the carrot seed. The carrot itself is the content or the doing. So when you open to a higher why, when you dedicate your life to something greater than yourself, and by the way, I know when I say that, I can actually feel a little bit the burden. Like, oh, what do I have to do? Do I have to volunteer? Do I have to give money? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You don't have to figure out what that means. You just have to dedicate your life to something bigger than yourself. I mean, really, Werner Erhard's question, what if you and I can choose to make the success of all humanity our personal business? And all of humanity is our personal business because from a spiritual context, we are one, we are unified, we are a whole, we are connected. Every human being is your brother and sister in spirit. Every human being, every animal, every plant, that we are connected. So, to the degree that we are focused just on, do I have money in the bank? Have I lost those 5 pounds? I'm fighting with my husband. I'm afraid of the future. Most of us lead very small, puny lives, afraid that we will not have what we need to be happy, fulfilled, satisfied. And it's not satisfying. You will never, when you're encased like that, so closed up. I remember Lynn Twist also said one day, I saw her in person many, 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 many years ago, but she was talking about how she was who she was in life is a person who was part of the organization called the Hunger Project. So her whole life was dedicated to fundraising and ending world hunger. That was what she did. And I remember her talking about how when you have a commitment, it's like it's got you by the nose. So when you wake up, it's like it leads you into action. So when you live from a higher why, the higher why itself creates circumstances and conditions. The higher why itself brings to you fulfillment, brings to you your reason for being alive. It brings to you uh, this enormous satisfaction going beyond, is this all there is? Because to be mired in the littleness of your personal world ultimately is not satisfying, ultimately will not satisfy you, because it's not who we are. Who we are difference makers. Who we are lovers of humanity. That's who we all are. It doesn't matter to me who we think we're talking about. It's everybody. So I invite us. So I guess my invitation as we move into 2025 is to not be too caught up in the fear of what's going to happen tomorrow, because a lot of people are there right now. I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people just are afraid of what comes next. Do not get caught up in that, because it will cause you to introvert, to invert. It'll cause you to go within in such a way that you cut off the difference maker that you are. Like this young man today in the Target parking lot, you can make a difference in your life if what you want to do is to make a difference in your life. So all you have to do is decide. You have to decide, I want to live my life from a higher perspective. I want it to be more than just making money, buying things, protecting assets, finding love, find whatever it, and all those things are important, by the way. I'm not saying don't do those things, because all those things are valuable. We enjoy them. We're really here to enjoy life. But to explore for yourself what it would mean to be in the world unafraid to love, unafraid to make a difference, unafraid to talk to strangers, unafraid to lend a helping hand, unafraid, wouldn't that be great to just be a person of service in your lifetime, and to see what that brings to you, because it will bring something. That idea, I'm going to dedicate my life to making a difference in the world, is the carrot seed. And what comes next just comes next naturally. You don't have to force it or make it or beg for it. It will just come to you. All the ways that you can matter will come to you. And my assertion is that when you do that, your needs will be met in a way that is inexplicable. Even when this fellow, I don't even know his name. I forgot to even ask his name. He was so sweet. But he lives in me now, like a person who was selfless, maybe even more than I am. I don't even know that if I had jumpers in my car, I would have helped me, but he did. And I remember him, right? So when you smile, when you offer, when somebody's in front of you in the grocery store and they're $2.05 short of their grocery bill, if you gave it to them, they would remember you for life. I mean, you will have made a difference in their lives for them. And I think that ultimately, some of us will actually step out boldly and do big, broad initiatives. And some of us will just smile at grocery store clerks. And some of us will jump a stranger's car. And some of us will lend a helping hand. And some of us will just, uh, your love for humanity, your desire to make a difference, will simply cause your life to be more fulfilling and more full, because we live in a boomerang world. Whatever it is you put out, you get back. So let's make 2025 a year of service, and not because service is good or noble or will result in financial gain for you, but just because being in service will bring purpose, meaning, and value to your life. In this white paper on what it means to have a good life, uh, in addition, being committed to something bigger than oneself, he says, being committed to something bigger than oneself is a source of passion. It's a source of aliveness. It's a source of excitement. It's a source of fulfillment. And uh, being in service this way will help us to avoid this midlife crisis of, is this all there is? Because, the truth is, the older you get, you're not so much coming from the beginning, but coming from the end. And we want to be at the end happy with how we lived our lives, and happy with, well, just happy with how we lived our lives, right? So we don't want to live it having it have been all about the money, or all about the security, or all about the material things. We want it to also be about the soul and the spirit. So go forth in 2025, open and receptive to love, open and receptive to service, and living your life from a higher why, and see what happens. You plant the seeds and see what results. Yes, being, be, not do. The doing is, another way I would say this is, you give the universe the what, and the universe will give you the how. You don't have to figure it out. All right, so welcome back to Sunday Night Alive. I'm so grateful to be back in the country. I'm kind of in the process of continuing to explore this a life in the final third, or the last quarter, of the back nine for all of us. My audience primarily is older people, but I just spent 6 weeks with two amazing young people, a couple, 30-year-old couple from Germany, and it was so wonderful and so fulfilling and satisfying and fun. And all of us need to really explore how to have a life that is fulfilling, and not governed by fear, but governed by vision. And living from a higher why is to live from vision, to actually create your life day by day by day, in a way that leads to not only material success, which is easy for the universe, by the way. So if you're not having material success, there's something else going on, because money and houses, that's easy for the universe. What's less easy for the universe is peace and love. Less easy because we cut it off a little bit by our fear and our worries. So I think that's it for tonight. I think that's my message. I'm looking forward to acclimating back into American life. Being gone for 90 days is a long time. It was actually a teensy bit too long for me, but I am back now. So let's do it. Um, I'm going to end in prayer here, but if you want to sign up for my blogs or connect with me in any way, you can just go to you can just go to deniseschubert.com. Deniseschubert.com is my website, and anything you could want to know about me or do or talk to me, you can do from that platform. All right, so I'm going to pray us out tonight. So let's end where we started, which is to turn within together, to take a breath, to recognize that we are whole, perfect, and complete in this moment. There's nothing more to get, nothing more to learn, nothing more to acquire, that our spiritual essence is perfect, and that we have a right to be here. There's a right and a reason for us to be here. We've been planted here by that which planted everything. And so I recognize that we are connected to each other into all life. I recognize that we are connected to the um, to that which brings forth everything. We are manifesting machines. That's what we are. And we manifest with our desires and our commitments and our hearts. And so in this moment, I give thanks for recognizing that as we step up our consciousness, as we expand our consciousness, we expand that which we allow into our experience. And so as we commit our lives to love, as we commit our lives to the well-being of all human beings and all everything, as we commit our lives to being a part of solutions and not problems, as we commit ourselves to a higher why, whatever that higher why is for us, I know that there is a free flow of good, a stream of well-being that we step into. And so I'm grateful for the good that shows up in your life this week, from taking a moment, a me moment for yourself to gain a spiritual perspective, to spend a few moments with me just to explore what it means to be a spiritual being, having a spiritual experience here on planet Earth. And so for this and so much more, I'm grateful. We just let this be together. And we do it by saying, and so it is. So peace and blessings to you. I'm so happy to reconnect, and I will see you next Sunday at 6 p.m. on Sunday Night Alive. Have a great, great week.